both rear legs, both back straps. And now we're going to move on to the front shoulder. Alright, this is the front shoulder. This is a smaller deer, so there's not nearly as much meat here to get. I'm going to tell you right now, I'm not going to get any steaks out of this. Just going ahead and cleaning it up and either tying some roast out of it or just go ahead and grind it all into burger or for jerky or whatever. So, I mean, there's right here's the shoulder blade where the bone sticks up on the outside of the shoulder. That's right there. That's a hard white line. All right. A lot of times I'll start right there and cut there, but I'm gonna just work at cleaning this up a little bit. Nothing too drastic. Take connective tissue off like this. Just to help with keeping the gamey taste out of your. Get rid of that. As you can see, they're just, when you're cutting around all this stuff, they're just, it won't be like the rear leg where, you see the obvious muscle groups that you can say, oh, I can turn a steak out of that. It just doesn't happen. I'm just going to cut this into strips. Turn the shoulder over, you can see some, there's just kind of like flaps of meat hanging off here and there. Like I said, just cut them off with as little fat and connective tissue as you can. Alright, now we're back on this side. We got it cleaned up pretty good. Good enough for what we're doing. We're going to grind it off. So I'm going to start separating it. Leg comes up, the bone comes up. There's that front, about where the brisket's at, joins up. And then here's that bone on the shoulder blade. So what I want to do is I want to, on each side of that, follow it down until the knife bottoms to the shoulder blade. And then when it gets down to the bottom, just go ahead and turn it out and fillet it right off the shoulder blade. Try to get it so you can see this and try to get a better angle. I've got this, there's that bone sticking up. You can see there's shoulder blade, got that filleted right off of there. Like that. Do the same thing on this side, follow it down, and then here's the knee, so I'm just going to turn like I did on the rear leg and just cut that loose. Peel this open. And then here's the edge of the shoulder. And if you want, you can cut straight, just cut all the way down through if you want. A lot of times I don't, I'll just wait. And just go like this and open this up. And there again, we're going to grind all this anyway, so I'm just following the leg bone. Just hold on to this like this, split it open. And then just work your way all the way around it. Okay. Flip it over. Got that. Typically just come in here like this. Shave that off. Shave that off. See how tough this stuff is. The knife won't even hardly go through it. Not that big deal. And what I do is I bend that down like that. Makes it a little bit smaller package to deal with. All right. And then we'll sit down here now and just do a little final picking. Depending upon the size of your meat grinder, this will fit in my meat grinder. That's how you cut it into strips that'll fit appropriately in your size meat grinder if you're going to grind all this. Or you can save it and possibly, if you get enough meat, you may have a butcher shop that can grind it for you. It's another option. Call ahead though before you take it down there and verify that they can do it. typically any of the ones that are probably doing deer processing already can grind the meat for you. But still call ahead, verify. Okay, I'm just gonna go ahead, even though I'm gonna grind this, I'm just gonna go ahead, this will be an easy cut. Take that right off. There, it's gone. See, it's actually, if that was bigger, you can almost take that out. Okay. Grind that up. That'll fit my grinder. Okay. Just continue on cleaning up the shoulders, separating, if you get down and separating more of these muscle groups, you'll see more connective tissue. That's why I said, depending upon how far you break it down, it's going to determine how much connective tissue you see and can separate. Okay. It's not too bad. We're being pretty fussy. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and go like this. Let's go to this one, silver membrane, white membrane, get rid of that. Don't want it in my meat product. Okay. There. Like I said, don't be afraid to cut stuff. It doesn't matter when you're not staking. You're just going to grind it, but it does grind easier if you leave it in longer strips. But still, I'm still working on cleaning this up. Like I said, this is the first shoulder, so not too bad. So here's what I'm going to do is, that'll probably just about fit in the throat of my grinder, but you may have a small, like a KitchenAid or a small grinder. You can separate each muscle group out if you want, like this. So this one I'm going to cut this way, right? And then this one I'm going to cut this way, right there. Almost like you're butterflying it and turning it into one super long strip. And now drop this in your grinder. Grinder will pull it all through all itself. You don't have to sit there and plunge it. All right? Okay, we got one shoulder done. I have the second one here. I'm not going to go over how to cut up the second one since it's a pretty basic procedure on the front shoulders. I just wanted to tell you that to keep in mind that you can turn parts of this into roast. Just clean it up, tie them if you want a tied roast, or turn it into stew meat. Makes great stew meat. There again, anything you take out of the front shoulder, if you're going to use it for you're not going to grind it. You definitely want to make sure it's a long cooked or wet cooked process, whether in a crock pot, the stew meat, and something that is cooked for a long time to break down those fibers and make that meat tender by the time it gets to the table.